Welcome everyone. Today we're going to dive into a topic that affects businesses, consumers, and the entire economics. Tariffs. You may have heard about them in the news, but what exactly are tariffs? And more importantly, how do they impact the economy? By the end of this talk, you'll have a clear understanding of why tariffs often do more harm than good. Let's start with the basics. What are tariffs? A tariff is a tax imposed by a government on imported goods. Think of it like an extra fee added to products coming from other countries. The idea behind tariffs is usually to 1. Protect domestic industries by making foreign goods more expensive. 2. Encourage consumers to buy locally made products instead of imports. 3. Generate revenue for the government. But while that might sound good in theory, in practice, tariffs can create serious economic problems. The negative economic effects of tariffs. 1. Higher prices for consumers. Tariffs make imported goods more expensive, but businesses that rely on foreign materials don't just absorb the extra costs. They pass them on to the consumers. This means higher prices on everything from electronics to cars to groceries. Reduced purchasing power for families and individuals. For example, if a tariff is placed on steel, American car manufacturers have to pay more for steel, which raises the price of cars. Ultimately, consumers bear the burden. 2. Retaliation from other countries. When one country imposes tariffs, other countries often respond with tariffs of their own. This leads to trade wars, where countries keep raising tariffs against each other, hurting businesses on both sides. For instance, when the U.S. imposed tariffs on Chinese goods, China responded with tariffs on American agricultural products. As a result, American farmers suffered, losing billions in sales. Number 3, job losses in other sectors. While tariffs are supposed to protect domestic jobs, they can actually destroy jobs in industries that depend on trade. Consider this. If a U.S. company exports goods, but other countries retaliate with tariffs, American businesses lose customers overseas. Businesses that rely on imported materials like auto and tech companies may have to cut jobs because of higher cost. A real-world example, during past U.S. tariff increases, industries like agriculture and manufacturing saw significant job losses due to retaliatory tariffs from other nations. Number 4, reduced economic growth. Trade is a major driver of economic growth. When tariffs restrict trade, economies slow down. Businesses lose access to international markets. Supply chains get disrupted, investment slows because businesses face uncertainty. Historically, trade wars have led to recessions. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930 worsened the Great Depression by triggering a collapse in global trade. Number 5, inefficiency and less competition. Tariffs protect domestic industries from foreign competition, but that isn't always a good thing. Without competition, businesses have less incentive to innovate, improve quality, or lower prices. This leads to inefficiency, which hurts long-term economic growth. The free trade alternative. Countries that promote free trade, where goods move without tariffs, tend to have stronger economics. Free trade leads to lower prices for consumers, more choices in the marketplace, increased competition which drives innovation, economic expansion through exports and global business partnerships. Instead of tariffs, governments can support industries through education, workforce development, and business-friendly policies. The conclusion: tariffs hurt more than they help. While tariffs may seem like a way to protect jobs and industry, history shows that they often do the exact opposite. They lead to higher prices, trade wars, job losses, slower economic growth, and inefficiency. So the next time you hear about tariffs in the news, you'll understand a little bit more on how they impact the economy and why they're usually a very bad policy. Thank you for listening. I hope this gave you some valuable insight to how tariffs work and why free trade is often a better path forward. And please subscribe to the channel, as we are going to go back to putting out more videos a lot more frequently on here. And I want to thank each and every one of you for checking out this video.